Ο Τζων Κυριακού είναι πρώην αξιωματικός πληροφοριών της CIA, ο οποίος υπηρέτησε ως αναλυτής και ανώτερος ερευνητής της Επιτροπής Εξωτερικών Σχέσεων της Γερουσίας. Το 2007 κατήγγειλε δημόσια τη χρήση βασανιστήριων από τη CIA σε κρατούμενους μέλη της Αλ-Κάιντα, παραβιάζοντας τον νόμο σχετικά με την προστασία της ταυτότητας των υπαλλήλων των μυστικών υπηρεσιών. Ήταν ο πρώτος αξιωματικός της CIA που καταδικάστηκε για διαβίβαση διαβαθμισμένων πληροφοριών και καταδικάστηκε σε 30 μήνες φυλάκιση. Πλέον αρθρογραφεί στα ΜΜΕ. Άρθρα του με θέμα τη Μέση Ανατολή και το Αφγανιστάν έχουν δημοσιευτεί σε περισσότερες από 80 εφημερίδες σε δεκάδες χώρες. Μιλώντας στον διευθυντή του Geopolitico, Χρήστο Κωνσταντινίδη, στο πλαίσιο του Intelligence and Security Forum, ένα ξεχωριστό συνέδριο αφιερωμένο στις σύγχρονες προκλήσεις και ευκαιρίες στον τομέα της συλλογής πληροφοριών, της αντικατασκοπίας και της καταπολέμησης της τρομοκρατίας, το οποίο πραγματοποιήθηκε στις 11 Μαΐου στο Athens Avenue Hotel, ο Τζων Κυριακού ήταν αποκαλυπτικός. Ο διακεκριμένος αναλυτής της κοινότητας πληροφοριών των ΗΠΑ δήλωσε υπερήφανος για την ελληνική του καταγωγή και επιβεβαίωσε τα λεγόμενα του Σάβα Καλεντερίδη ότι μεγάλος αριθμός Ελλήνων ομογενών εργάζονται στην κεντρική υπηρεσία πληροφοριών των ΗΠΑ. Η ερώτηση του 1 εκατομμυρίου όμως αφορούσε το πώς η Ελλάδα θα μπορέσει να αντιμετωπίσει την Τουρκία. «Μην στηρίζεστε στις ΗΠΑ για την ασφάλειά σας», ανέφερε ξεκάθαρα ο Κυριακού, στέλνοντας ένα μήνυμα προς τους παρικούντες στην Ιερουσαλήμ, στην πατρίδα μας.
Mr. Kyrgyz, how do you feel that you're here in Greece?
I'm having trouble even putting it into words. I said yesterday to a friend that I'm never as happy as I am when I'm in Greece. To the point where I've become a Greek citizen, I'm looking for property in Athens. It makes me so happy just to be here.
So, as a Greek American, how do you feel about your Greek origins?
When I applied for my Greek citizenship, I was told that because my family was from Rhodo, that I had a stronger case for Italian citizenship. I said, I'm not Italian. I don't want Italian citizenship. And so it took a little while longer, a little bit more digging, but I got my Greek citizenship. And, you know, one of the great things about being a Greek American is the strength of the Greek American community. Not just in Washington, but all over the country. New York, Boston, Florida, Southern California, Chicago, the Greeks are everywhere. And we are even overrepresented in Congress. We have members of Congress that are members of the House that are Greek Americans. Now we have another Greek American running for the Senate. And so, you know, we need to stick together to represent Greece's interests in the United States. God knows that the Turkish lobby is very strong. So it's up to the rest of us to make sure that we protect Greece.
So Mr. Kalenteridis used to say that the half of CIA staff is Greek.
It's true. I was just talking about this to a friend last night. When I was in the CIA, the Greek Americans always stuck together. We would have lunch once a month. We would always invite the director of the CIA, George Tenet, who's also Greek from Ibidos, and the senior officers would always look out for the junior officers, help us make good career decisions, help us get promoted. That has been the case since the 1950s. Mm-hmm. And in my own case, and this is not necessarily a good thing, but in my own case, my mentor at the CIA was Gustav Rakatos, who became a legendary figure in that he was the one who led the CIA's efforts against the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. Now, the reason why I say it may not be a good thing is because he was also a very well-known supporter of the junta.
Yes,
and
we have some negative memories from him because about Cyprus.
Oh yeah, Gus was a lovely man and very proud to be Greek, but he was obsessed with communism. Mm-hmm. To the point where he didn't think clearly. Mm-hmm. He was so obsessed with communism and with killing communists. Mm-hmm. Not just that he didn't like the ideology, he advocated the killing of communists.
Okay.
But anyway, he was one of those Greek Americans that wanted to make sure that young, new Greek Americans in the CIA had good careers, made good decisions, and got promoted.
Okay. Next question: how does an agent feels after retirement? Does he or she feels secure? Does he or she has the necessity to be protected from the government?
No, that's a good question. No, in my case, the CIA went after me. And because I revealed that the CIA was torturing its prisoners, that torture was official policy, and that the policy had come directly from the president. So they attacked me. They sent me to prison for 2 years. I refused to apologize. I refused to retract anything that I said. And I still refuse, because I was right and they were wrong. But then for years, after it was all over, they followed me. My emails were being intercepted, which I have proof of. My phone calls were being monitored. For what reason? But that's just the way they do it with former CIA officers who don't fit into the mold and don't keep their mouth shut.
Okay. Last question. You have answered already to this, but I must ask you that you have an enemy, a neighbor who is acting like an enemy, Turkey, and Turkey wants to get the halfway Aegean. Mm-hmm. How we can face this enemy?
I would say, number one, do not rely on the United States solely for your security. Because, there's an old saying in the United States that there are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. And it's the US's interest to maintain good relations with Turkey because Turkey is so important to the Middle East. So I would say the best road for Greece is the strongest possible relations with the European Union. That's where Greece is going to be protected. There was a piece in the newspaper just today that Erdogan made a statement yesterday saying that he's very angry that the EU, his words, is dragging its feet on Turkish accession talks. We don't want Turkey in the European Union. It's not a European country, and it's a belligerent. Maybe when Turkish troops withdraw from Cyprus, then we can have that conversation. But until then, I think Greece needs to rely on its friends in Europe, and while maintaining good relations with the United States, not rely on the United States for its security.
That's very serious. Thank you very much. A last message to Greeks in Greek.
Είμαι πολύ τυχερός και χαρούμενος ότι είμαι εδώ στην Ελλάδα. Ζήτω η Ελλάδα.
Σας ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ.
Ευχαριστούμε τον διοργανωτή του Intelligence and Security Forum, Φίλιππο Χατζή, ο οποίος έδωσε την ευκαιρία στο Geopolitico.gr να συνομιλήσει με τον Τζων Κυριακού. Το συνέδριο είχε απόλυτη επιτυχία και οι ομιλίες όλων των αναλυτών καθήλωσαν το κοινό.